You know, I like fireworks. The loud sounds, the bright colors and lights. It's really nice. It always makes you think of celebrating after a big win. But, after the light fades and everything goes quiet, I guess the next question is, what's next? It's really nice that we're able to pause for a little bit, celebrate our wins. Maybe you achieved a goal. Or maybe just something really lucky happened and it worked out in your favor. And that's really awesome. And I think it's great because there's always another mountain to climb. You're not going to become stagnant and bored. You're not going to sit there and just peak at this age already. You got so much more life in you. There's so many more things to do. And there's a lot of things that you want to do. And I want to tell you today that you can do it. You are amazing. And I know that you can do this. But you got to work on it. You got to do a little bit of work. And that's okay. Because I think it's really awesome that you're working on these things. You can't just live in the sunset. You got to go. There's going to be a new day, another sunrise, and a new goal, a new thing that you can work on. And I think it's super great that you keep working on yourself and that you keep working toward those things that are important to you. And so, what are we going to do? What are we going to do next? That's the question to ask after celebrating. You don't want to just go from one thing to the next and never actually celebrate your little wins or big wins, because it's not helpful. If you're always just going crazy, working from one thing to the next, that's not good for you. You definitely want to pause and celebrate. And then you can work on the next thing. On the other hand, maybe things didn't work out. Your goal was too much for you and you couldn't achieve it. Or something else entirely out of your control happened that threw all your plans away. And, you fall down into the abyss, sort of stuck with the ruins of what once was. And that can be sad. And that's okay. And you can be sad for a little bit. Just like how you can pause to celebrate your wins, you can pause for a little bit and heal. Not for too long, though. You gotta move, because just like after celebrating your victory, you gotta ask yourself the question, what's next? It didn't work out. I didn't achieve my goal. The thing I wanted didn't happen. What's next? What's the next thing? And I think that that's the way to think about it. When you think about what's next after a failure, it's important to try to think about what happened that made it go south. Was it that the goal was too big? Was this thing out of your control, just completely impossible to foresee? Because once you have an idea of what went wrong with your goal, you can start to think about the next thing being a way to fix it. So maybe you weren't fast enough on working this thing, so you didn't hit the deadline. Well, can you go back and work on it some more? Can you finish it? You might not hit the deadline, but you could still do something with it, can't you? Or, this outside thing that completely threw a wrench in your plans. Well, maybe you can't accomplish the goal as it was, but maybe you can tweak it a little bit and start again. Sort of really try to diagnose what went wrong and start to look for that little ray of sunshine there. A little ray of hope. So you can continue and start the next thing. I think that whatever you decide as what's next, I think you can do it. I think you have all the things you need to be able to accomplish that goal. I think that you're really special. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you can bring to the world. Maybe you feel like you haven't done it yet, or that you failed to do it. But I'm just here to tell you that as long as you keep taking another step, you keep asking yourself, what's next? And you start working toward those things, I think you can do it. Because you're awesome. And I really, really don't want to see those dreams die. You don't want to see your dreams die either. But even as somebody on the outside, I want you to be able to accomplish those dreams. Because you are amazing. There's not really any other way to put it. You're just awesome. And I think that you can do the things that you want to do. It's just a matter of, let's work on it, you know? You gotta spend some time. Spend some time working on the things that really matter to you. Because you're awesome. So, someday, you'll cultivate this little garden. A nice little garden of dreams and hopes and looking toward the future. You can make something beautiful. It'll be your own little patch in the world of a beautiful little place. I like to think it's like a nice little patch of beauty just sitting right there in your heart because you're awesome. And there is so much you can do. But it requires you to do it. And that's going to be the thing. You're not just asking yourself what's next. You're asking yourself, what am I doing next? When you answer that question, you need to make sure that you get started and you do it. Because you can do it. I think you're just so great. Darn it. I really feel that. Everybody's got something. Everybody's got their gift. And you just gotta find out what it is. And you know how you do that? You try things. You try things. Things work, things don't work. You ask what's next. And that's what I want you guys to do. That's all it should be. I'm getting all sappy. Squeaky. But, you're just here listening to some pool toy in a garden of flowers. He just thinks you're awesome. Is it really that hard to believe? I believe it. If you don't believe it, I want you to know that I believe it. So you can just borrow my belief in you so that you can believe in yourself. And then we'll see where it takes us. Because you guys are cool. And someday we'll find out what it is together. This gift, this goal, this achievement, these things that are always going to be coming up. Why not? Why not? We gotta just work on these things and see where it leads us. Because, quite frankly, it's just crazy how much work we do. And sometimes it's so easy to get stuck. Like, why do we get stuck so much? And, the short answer is that we stopped. We stopped somewhere along the way. It was either we had our victory, we just called it good there, didn't think about what was next. There's definitely something next. Some new achievement, some new goal, some new task. Or something bad happened. And you're not feeling so good. But the fact of the matter is that there is something next. There is some good thing there. You can't let it stop you. I don't care what or who it was that made you feel like you had to stop, but that's just not the case. You gotta keep moving. You're gonna find something, but you gotta try. And I hope that you do try. I hope you try every day. Because as you're working toward the things that matter to you, you're gonna find yourself to be a lot happier. Your life is gonna be a lot more fulfilling as you work on the things that matter to you. And so, take it from me, the pool toy, Sierra, that I think you can really do some amazing things. And I really want you to. So keep going. So I hope that this video has been helpful for you, because no matter what's going on, whatever happened, whether it was good or bad, I want you to just make sure that you keep asking yourself, what's next? And as long as you keep taking those steps forward and always focus on whatever's going to happen next, I think that you're going to be able to do a lot. And I hope that this has really helped you out, because you're awesome. Remember that.